I wanted to do an episode yesterday because I was so pissed off at that Cowboys game, but wasn't really feeling the best today. But we're gonna talk about Wild Card Weekend and how wild it was, and of course we're gonna talk about a little something else afterwards. I don't know what that is yet, but something that comes to me, anything on my mind. But y'all know how we do it. Let's get it. They don't call it Wild Card Weekend for a reason. To be honest, most of the games this weekend was blowouts. There was only one real close one. The Rams Lions game was pretty good at the end. Uh, the Steelers definitely made it a game against the Bills. Other four games were pretty much routes. But there's one in particular, obviously, y'all probably know I want to cover because I'm a Cowboys fan to my heart. And I am tired. I'm tired of the disappointment. Like, I know people have this knock on us Cowboys fans saying that we're saying we're always gonna win the Super Bowl. We're always the best team in the league. If you talk to a real fan, an honest fan, most of us we just want to win a couple playoff games, get to a conference championship, maybe even get to the Super Bowl. Or at least get to a conference championship game. When the last time we went to a conference championship game? Fuck a Super Bowl. When the last time we been to a conference championship game? I'm gonna be a little animated about this because this is I'm to the point where I was sitting there, I was watching, and I watched Green Bay score. They went up like 21-0 or 20-0 or something like that. And I'm sitting here like, here we go again. Dak was throwing a few picks. Our defense wasn't looking good at all. And if you want to be honest, the only reason we got the 2 seed is just because Philly was just playing that bad. We weren't playing great down the stretch either. And that's why they got waxed tonight or yesterday. It's Tuesday. Happy Monday. Shout out to the Bucks. They did their thing. And shout out to the Packers too. Like, mad respect to them. They came out here and they just played. They came out here and did their thing and just played ball. For the Cowboys to be the 2 seed and to play the way they did is actually, it's embarrassing. And I think as fans, we're just tired. We're tired of every year us feeling like we have the team on paper. We've had the team on paper a lot, but you still got to go and play the games. It's Cowboys are definitely proof that you have to go play the games. I don't care what sport you're playing. We've seen stacked teams through the history of sports come up flat. Remember that Lakers team that had Shaq and Kobe, Karl Malone, Peyton. I mean, it wasn't not Gary Payton. It was us. It was Gary Payton, but then it was the one with Kobe, Pau Gasol, and Steve Nash and Dwight Howard. Talk about that Nick team with like Melo and Amari and who was it? Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose, and I think it was Courtney Lee or something. That team, that star five barely played together. The Lakers star five barely played together. Even if you look at the Heat's big three, when we first formed it, we got to the finals and laid a flat egg. We were supposed to win that series. Everybody always says that us and the Mavericks should have swapped championships. Like in what was it, 06 when we won it? The first one? Like they should have probably won that series. But we should have won the one when we first got our big three together. But the point I'm trying to get to is I've watched all my favorite teams be successful in some way in my lifetime. The last time the Cowboys got to even a conference championship game was 95, 96? I was 7 years old. I kind of remember it. It's so damn long ago. It's like a joke now. I'm a Yankees fan. Watch the Yankees be successful. Yankees are always around. We had a bad year last year. Obviously, we stunk last year. We've had a couple years here and there where the Yankees weren't great. But at the end of the day, they're always in World Series talks. No matter if you hate them or not. The Miami Heat. I've been a Heat fan since pretty much Wade's been in a Heat uniform. I used to kind of be like a Knicks-Nets fan, I'm not going to lie. I was a big fan of Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing. I was a big Knicks fan. But I also enjoyed the Nets too. I was a big fan of Jason Kidd's probably one of my favorite players of all time. Vince Carter. So I was kind of flip-flopping. I'm a Jersey kid, so I was kind of flip-flopping between the two. But I was a big fan of D Wade in college. When it came to the pros, I was like, I like the Heat. They're cool. I like Pat Riley. And then Shaq came to the Heat. I was always a huge Shaq fan. Being here from Jersey, being here from Newark, he's from Newark. I've always was a big Shaq fan, but I couldn't find myself to cheer for the Lakers. I'm not a big fan of Kobe Bryant. That's a player. I was never a big fan of him. So I couldn't find myself to cheer for the Lakers. So when he came to the Heat, I'm like, okay, this might be my new team. That first year, I think we went to the playoffs or something. Did we win the championship? I can't even remember. It's. I think we went to the playoffs that first year. Shaq came to Miami. Then the year it was '06. We won a championship. I stayed a Heat fan. I'm still a Heat fan. I've been one ever since. Um, but and then I have UConn basketball. I've been a big fan of the UConn men and women since like the late '90s. Like I was back when like Ray Allen was playing for them, and for the women's side it was like Rebecca Lobo, Jen Rosati, all of them. I've been a fan of both of them for the longest, and I love all the players that have come through there. Obviously, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Tina Charles, Brianna Stewart, Kimber Walker, Mecca Okafor, all the people's the beat. Hasheem the beat, and they both have won titles. The women are struggling a little bit this year, but it's still a Huskies. You know we gonna be around. Like both the men and women. And the New York Liberty, I've been a Liberty fan since the WNBA started. What, 97, 96? I've been a fan ever since. We've been to a few finals at least. We just recently was in a finals, even though we kind of went to the finals kind of laid an egg. We Vegas was just better. Period. uh, but it sucks to watch all my other teams that I like be successful. I really don't have a hockey team, but don't really have a college football team. I kind of just watch both here and there. But the Cowboys are just, no matter who's on the team, it's like we've had great players. We've had great teams. Romo and T.O. and DeMarcus Ware, Des Bryant and DeMarco Murray. I thought Marion Barber was always a good back. He never was a great starting back, but he was always a good back. Jason Witten, Roy Williams, both sides of the ball. We had the receiver Roy Williams, and we also had Roy Williams the safety. Like we've had some good players, some good teams throughout the years. The one thing I've never liked really is our coaches. Never was a big Jason Garrett fan. Never was a big Mike McCarthy fan. And this year has been very weird. I've been saying it all season. We let go of Kellen Moore. I hated that move. I didn't think we should have let go of Zeke either. The reason Pollard had such a good year last year was because he was playing behind Zeke. And people had to kind of game plan for both of them, which I think was an advantage. Kellen Moore, I thought, called great plays, whatever. I didn't have a problem with him. Our play calling this year wasn't the best, even in the couple wins we've had. I remember the Seattle game and I believe the Lions game that we won, where we had the ball. We had the ball. Under 2 minutes, the other team maybe got a couple timeouts. And we're throwing the ball. We're not even running the ball. But yet you got rid of Kellen Moore because you said that you wanted to run the ball more. I'd be shocked if Pollard had 1,000 yards this year. It didn't feel like it if he did. And it's like, I personally, I say blow the whole thing up. For me, the only guy I don't want us to lose is Micah. And even though, let's be honest, our defense hadn't been playing that well last month of the season. After Bland got that record, you hadn't heard from him in a while. Micah had his moments. But and even DeMarcus Lawrence had some moments recently. But we weren't playing good down the stretch at all. We know how the NFL works. It's all about flows. It's all about coming in hot. I feel like you look at the Packers. They've been doing their thing the last month or two. Ever since the Thanksgiving game when they played Detroit and beat Detroit, they have been looking up. Jordan Love was playing well. They had their receivers were playing well. They had a good running game. Aaron Jones is a good back. Where's Aaron Jones or Adam Jones? Whatever his name is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I feel like it's all about streaks. When it's a playoff system where it's one and done, you have to come in hot. You can't come in like Philly came in. You can't even come in like we came in. Because technically, we had one. We were 3-2 our last 5 games. And all those games were close besides the Washington game. And obviously we got blew out by the Bills. That Miami game was iffy. Both teams were struggling that game, and Miami got dump trucked in Kansas City too. uh, but like, and we already know the controversy. Everybody was talking about the Detroit game. Even though I feel like we should have won that game came down to the last play. It still came down to the last play. And if like Saturday's game or Sunday's game would have came down to the last play, I would have been cool. Whatever happened, happened. But for us to like come out like that, getting dump trucked in our own stadium where we were supposed to be so great, we got second place, put in the second seed, put into our laps. Philly sucked down the stretch. Straight up. We got second seed because Philly just was playing worse. We weren't playing great. Bland got his record. Lamb got his record. Then what happened? I'm just as a fan, I'm just tired. Obviously, I'm going to stick with my team. Through the good, through the bad, whatever. But to be honest, it's been nothing but bad. We haven't done really much in the playoffs in the past 20, about to be 30 years now. It's probably 30 years now. Almost. What was it? What, 96 when we won our last Super Bowl? We've run maybe 5 or 6 playoff games since? I know we won a few. I know Roman won a couple throughout his career. Dak, we won one. What was it last year? No, it was the year before when Dak won a game. But the last 2 years we've gotten bounced in the first round. At home, by the way. I believe we were in San Francisco. I mean, we were at home last year when we lost to San Fran, I believe. And it's to a point where it's like, as a fan, for me, like, moves have to be made. Like, this can't continue. I don't know if it's just like the Cowboys are cursed or what. But man, it's deflating as a fan. I love this team. I grew up with this team. A lot of my family's really split. Cowboys, Giants fans, Steelers fans. But like, my uncle was a big Cowboys fan. He'd be here every Sunday yelling and screaming, the top of his lungs. And I like being a Cowboys fan, but I don't because of this time of year. It sucks because we know we have the talent. We could just never pull out a win in these playoffs. We can't make a run. At least get to a conference championship game. I was hoping at worst we get to San Fran. At worst. But now we sitting at home. And speaking of other teams that sitting at home, Philly's right with us. They came and laid an egg last night. They came in staggering, limping. They didn't even score a touchdown, I think, that game last night. It was 32-9. Also, the Bills beat the Steelers. The Steelers gave Buffalo a little bit of a game. It was close enough. Shout out to the Lions, too. Came through big. Jared Goff doing his thing. Lions got their first playoff win since 91. Shout out to the Lions. They're gonna be getting a home game now because we lost. They will get a home game. They're gonna be playing Tampa. That's gonna be a good one. I got Detroit winning that one, but that's gonna be a good one. Who else? The Texans. Shout out to C.J. Stroud. Dude did his thing, came out. They sent Cleveland packet easy. Shout out to the Texans though for the one time. Did they thing? CJ Stroud doing his thing. I just said it's all about coming in streaky. The Chiefs, it's going to be interesting to see next week with Chiefs on the road for the first time in the playoffs. They've never had a road playoff game. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on the road against Buffalo in Buffalo. It's probably going to be cold. We know how that's going to be. The Lions are going to play, what did I say the Lions play? Lions play Tampa. That's going to be a good one. Packers 49ers is going to be interesting. I'm going to say that right now. Like I said, Packers have been streaky coming in. The Niners are well rested. Obviously, probably McCaffrey. All they're gonna have all their weapons. San Fran gonna be tough to beat, but I definitely got San Fran winning that game, but we'll see. We'll see. And then the Ravens will be playing the Texans. That's gonna be a good one. I first of all, let's kind of talk about the Ravens a little bit. I think Lamar needs a run. He needs to get to the Super Bowl. He's got all the credentials. He's probably gonna be MVP of the regular season. I've always been a fan of Lamar Jackson, and I feel like he doesn't get the love that he deserves. I was having this discussion in my chat when I streamed because got so pissed at the Cowboys game, I ended up just starting up stream. I wanted to stream that day anyway. I was like, oh, I wait for the game to go off. No, at halftime, I started up my stream. I was pissed. I had this discussion, and one of my friends, he's a Ravens fan. My boy, Boss Man Rivers. Shout out. Go follow his Twitch. He's a hell of an Apex player. Go check him out. But he was talking about I kind of brought up Lamar Jackson, and I was just like, this man never gets the love and respect that he deserves. Yes, he's been injured. We know that. But he does everything on the field. The man's Superman. And I hate to bring race into this, but if you don't think that has something to do with the fact that no one gives him his love, and that's why I like seeing all these black quarterbacks around. Obviously, like Mahomes. I know everybody talks about he's light skinned. His father's black. I don't know if you've seen that man. That's a black man from the hood, bro. Listen, got Jalen Hurts, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love. I believe he's black. I hope I'm not wrong. But it's good to see. It's good to see some diversity in our quarterbacks. They're trying so hard to look for the next Tom Brady. It is killing them. Looking for the next Peyton Manning. They're trying to throw Herbert in our face every 2 seconds. Lawrence in our face. And I like Lawrence. I like Herbert too. But I feel like Herbert's so overhyped. He's a good quarterback, but he's not this quarterback that everybody's trying to make him seem. They're so hell-bent to finding the next great white quarterback that you won't even give a black one a chance. They're doing them like they did Vic. Everybody did Michael Vick when he was playing. Oh, he's not gonna be able to do this, do that. Atlanta just never really had those great teams to even get him to a Super Bowl. Baltimore has a serious chance to get there, and it would not surprise me if we get 2-1 season in the Super Bowl where it's Ravens and San Fran. And I think that would be a hell of a game, by the way. But that's pretty much it. I think I'm done. I'm done talking about football. That game pissed me off. I just hope the Cowboys find some way. I hope Jerry Jones opens his eyes, gets rid of McCarthy. I never liked him. His play call sucks. It's always been a thing with him, even when he was with Green Bay. Never really liked his play calling all season. Dak, I said it last year that I was done with him. I want to believe in him as I'm sitting here in my Dak Prescott jersey shirt. But man, I think I'm done with him too, bro. I'm tired. We have to do something with his defense as well. Our secondary isn't the best. Us against the run game sucked for weeks. I'm hoping for some change. Because as a fan, I love watching football. I love every week, getting excited for every week. I play fantasy football and all that stuff. I love cheering for my team. And of course, we're not going to win every game. That's just not realistic. No one does. No matter how good you are. No one wins every game. But I want us to get to these playoffs and compete. We proved that we can play in the regular season. It's the playoffs that we got to figure out. So, that's it for that. We'll be right back. I'll think of something to kind of spit on. I've had a couple things on my mind, so we gonna kind of chill with the sports. Also, Draymond Green came back tonight. They lost though. I believe the Warriors lost, but Draymond Green came back tonight. And then the NBA news. We're gonna be starting definitely getting some more NBA. Now that the boys is out, I'm still gonna be obviously paying attention to the playoffs. I love watching the Super Bowl. It's always fun. I always get some friends together in my Discord. We kind of chill, watch the game, talk about the commercials. Obviously, halftime Usher gonna be at the halftime performance. Shout out to Usher, one of the legends, one of the legends. But we gonna still talk about football. That's never gonna change. Big Mama is a huge football fan, but we definitely gonna be getting into more basketball talk as the weeks go on. Because we only got like what 3, 4 more weekends in the NFL season. So, but yeah, we're gonna think of a topic to kind of end the show on. But your girl will be back. I kind of had a topic on my mind for a while, actually, that I've kind of always wanted to speak on. It's more of a gaming topic. So for all my gamers out there, and I've had this conversation with a few friends before about what games, like the video game industry is very interesting right now. I'm a big gamer. I've been gaming since I was a kid. But I will say recently I haven't really found anything that has kept me interested. I recently played The Quarry, which was an experience in itself. I saved a lot of people. It's one of those choice games if you don't know The Quarry. Basically you're like playing these different characters. You're like these kids at a camp, you're like these camp counselors. Basically you have to survive the night. All the different characters are put into these different situations and you gotta basically the choices you make, weigh out the game, and it gives you a different result almost every time. It has plenty of replayability. There's little collectibles you can find. Um, and it's like you can't really ever spoil that game because, like I said, it's so many outcomes it could be. Um, but yeah, I finished playing through that. I'm probably gonna be playing through Detroit Become Human soon. A friend, my boy Jibby, helped your girl out and purchased it for your girl because I was gonna buy it. It was like $15 on Steam. I never had a PlayStation, so I never got a chance to play it. So we probably gonna dive into that soon. Um, but I'm a big Apex Overwatch person. Both games haven't really been, you know, tickling your girl's video game fancy. You know what I'm saying? And I have enjoyed Fortnite this season, but I've kind of stopped playing that as well. Still kind of play it here and there. Um, I've also been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is something that most people probably would expect me to play, but I was a big fan of The Sims back in the day. So, um, but yeah, I was addicted to another cozy game, Palia, like last summer. I played it every day for like 2 months. I kind of wore myself out. Um, um, so I've been playing Disney Dreamlight. Had some people helping your girl out, with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Cozy Queen. I call her Cozy Queen because she play all the cozy games. Go check her out on Twitch and everywhere else, TikTok, all that stuff. And my homegirl Tavi. So I call them my Disney moms because they always help me your girl out when I need a little help with a task or something. Yeah. um. But like I said, I'm in this lull in gaming, and I've been trying to find things to play. And I've thought about possibly going back to NBA 2K, which I religiously spent time on, or Madden, which is another game I religiously spent time on as a kid. Play Madden. I've been playing Madden since the '90s, man. I remember when I was younger, me and my cousin Rick, we used to play all the time, play different sports games, and he used to whoop my butt. I ain't gonna lie, dude used to whoop my butt. I was a little bit of a sore loser. Let's just say that. I know what I was. I ain't. um, but he was the whole big reason why I even got into gaming in general. But I played a lot of sports games back in the day. Like I played the Tecmo Bowls, NBA Live, NBA Street Volume 2 is probably one of my favorite sports games, probably games of all time. It's definitely in my top 5. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I played all that stuff. The WWE games, SmackDown versus Raw, the SmackDowns, WWF No Mercy is probably is easily my favorite wrestling game. Definitely on like probably my top 5 favorite games. No Mercy is. And I miss playing sports games. I miss the competitiveness. Very knowledgeable when it comes to to sports, I think. um, but I was talking about NBA 2K and how different it is, and how it's probably one of the biggest money grabs in gaming. And I always get into debate with people, typically like, oh no, it's COD, it's Call of Duty. No, it's Apex. Which both are very, very egregious with their purchases. um Apex charging, like recently they right now they're having a Final Fantasy collab where you get like an heirloom sword that's like $400 if you play for it outright, which is insane. It's insane. I will say the skins are pretty nice. Some of them are like, not a big Final Fantasy person. I've played it before, but I it's something I wouldn't mind exploring. I would not mind exploring Final Fantasy, but I haven't really played it, so I'm not really super excited for this event. I really don't care. But it's just like, obviously paying $200, $300 for heirlooms is crazy. Skins. But I will say, Apex is a free game. You don't have to spend a dime to enjoy the game. So they at least give you that option. As much as it sucks. And like I said, I don't play Apex like I used to. I only play Apex with my friends because this is the only time I really enjoy it. I might pop it on for like, I can't play more than maybe like 5 or 6 matches without getting bored if I'm by myself. My friends kind of keep me busy. Shout out to Bossy and Corey. We always have a good time when we play together. So the only time I could even stomach Apex is when I'm playing with a good crew. And then Call of Duty's been fleecing money out of people forever, and we know this. Like, charging $70 for Modern Warfare 3 is a crime. It is almost a war crime. You're paying for nostalgia. All the maps are old maps that they've, remastered, which is fine. I enjoyed it. All of the maps that are on there, I enjoyed at one point in my Call of Duty career. But I heard that the campaign, which I'm probably gonna end up like watching a YouTube video of it. The campaign was kind of rushed. You could tell that it wasn't supposed to be a full campaign. Like, it was supposed to be like maybe a DLC to Modern Warfare 2, which I love the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Black Ops campaign is also really, really nice. So if you haven't played Call of Duty campaigns, I really need you to take some time and do that. I know a lot of people don't, but they're really good. The only one I haven't played through was it's called, I think it was World War II, and the one before Modern Warfare 2. I think those are the only 2 campaigns I haven't played. I've played all of them since what was it, World at War? Yes, I've played every campaign since World at War besides those 2 I just mentioned. Vanguard. That's what it was. Vanguard. That I didn't play. I heard that campaign wasn't that great. It was very like a lot of cutscenes and all the cool parts you didn't really get to play. So that's fine. I don't care that I missed that. I would not mind going back to the World War II one. I heard that one was pretty solid. So I wouldn't mind going back to that. But my point is, you play Warzone. You can play Warzone for free. You don't have to spend a dime. I know there's metas where, if you don't buy the full game, you don't get certain weapons, and but they have a battle pass. You can make your coins back in the battle pass if you play the game. Same thing with Apex. Same thing with Fortnite. You play the $10 for the battle pass. And if you play the game, you pretty much can earn your coins back. You don't have to play for the next one, and you could just keep on stacking it forever, as long as you play the game. But NBA 2K is on a whole nother level. And I was thinking about getting this past year because it added crossplay, finally. Something like that I think should always have crossplay. Obviously, PlayStation and Xbox can now play together, with each other, against each other, whatever. But the fact that you have to pay $70 for the game, we're talking about the base game, just to play it, then the average person usually they have Play Now where you could just take a current NBA team, go online and play against somebody else. I feel like that community isn't as strong as it was back in the day. Not even close. Then you have the My Team people, which is basically you open up card packs, you get players, you make lineups, they give you like challenges. It's like a cool thing. But people spend sometimes hundreds of dollars on packs in a week. That's similar to Madden's Ultimate Team. If you play Madden, it's pretty much the same thing. You open up packs, you have challenges, whatever. But then I think the main attraction for most people is the park. You create a player, you play through a little bit of a career mode. You don't have to. Usually they make you kind of start it out. But you can take your player into the park, which they call it. You play against a bunch of people who have, it's just an open lobby. People that have different players. They have their players. You can make centers, whatever position you want. Point guards. I'm usually like a big, so I usually make centers. Um, but to make your player even halfway decent, you have to buy something called VC, which is short for virtual currency. And you have to spend probably a good 70 to 80 bucks just to make your player even worth anything. Real talk is probably like 100 bucks. And the thing is, when you spend that 100 bucks, you could probably get your player up to what? I remember when I last played, I remember you could probably get your player up to like 85. I feel like it's probably down to 80 by now. But then there's also like, you have clothes for your character, shoes, whatever. But before you know it, and before you know it, you're spending that's over 100. That's 170 bucks for the game itself. Then they have the nerve to recently add a battle pass, which you have to pay at least $10 for. There's a $10 version and a $20 version. I believe there's a free kind of track, but come on, nobody wants those rewards if you're a fan of the game. And for me, it's like, if you want 2K to change things, stop buying the games. That goes for any game, for real. Stop spending money. Stop buying the games. They're going to keep doing the same thing. I say that to the same people that always talk about Apex and how they rob people of things. It's like, you guys sit there every time an event comes out, ooh, these cool skins, let me get this heirloom. And you they don't care. They're going to keep doing that. They're going to say, fuck the game for any other time of year. And then when an heirloom or some event comes out, you're going to spend all your money anyway. Hurt their pockets. The thing about 2K, though, that's a little different. The average Apex player either is an Apex grinder or somebody like me who's kind of I will say I'm kind of a casual. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've been playing the game since it came out, pretty much. It'll be 5 years since that game's been out this February, which is nuts. The game has changed so much since then. In 5 years. It should. In 5 years, you better have something different in there. But, like, 2K... I hate that game is just so all about money. They have ads everywhere. There's plenty of sponsors everywhere. You'll see them all through the My Career mode. Even if you're just in a damn menu, they're throwing ads in your face. And it's sad to see. Like, because you're low key spend over 200 bucks for the base game and virtual currency. If that's the case, make the game free. Then maybe you could justify spending 50 bucks for some VC. You know what I'm saying? Make the game free. But they'll never do that. Because the average 2K guy, the average 2K grinder, doesn't play much else but 2K. Most of the guys I know who play 2K, 2K is their main game. They'll play other things. They'll have maybe one other BR they play. 2 at the max. They'll play 2K and then maybe play Fortnite. Or play 2K and maybe play Call of Duty or Warzone. They're 2K and maybe play Apex or PUBG. Or they may be into some fighting games. But the average 2K grinder literally plays 2K all day. I know these guys. Shit, I used to be one of those people. The thing was, though, as I started kind of branching out, because like I said, I used to always play sports games when I was a kid. When I started branching out, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was probably the old one. Was probably the first game that I really got into that wasn't a sports game. I played occasional other games. Like, I played a little Sonic, little Mario. I played those things. My cousins played them. I Crash Bandicoot. You know what I'm saying? I played those games. GTA has always been one of my favorites. I've played through most of the GTAs. But the average 2K player doesn't play much else. They play 2K. They sit there and grind 2K. They try to play with their homies. That's all they trying to do. And like I said, until they hurt their pockets, nothing's gonna change. I could kind of put it. I hate to bring back the Cowboys, but I could probably put that analogy up to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are always like the richest team in sports. Because you know why? First of all, they got that crazy nice stadium, but people are buying Cowboys merchandise, buying tickets to the games. They're making all this money. Hurt the pockets. Stop supporting. Maybe some things will change. Because for me, I generally don't think Jerry Jones gives a shit. He's making his money. I honestly don't think he cares. He's got his money. I hate to say that too. I hope he cares. I hope he wants us to win. Because there's something wrong there. We're not gonna get back on the Cowboys because I'm gonna get right back into that zone again. So let me not. But I feel like anytime you want to hurt a company, hurt the pockets. Stop buying stuff from them. If you stop doing that, they'll make changes. Oh, no one's playing that game. I bet you they make some changes. But the average 2K guy isn't going to do that. And for me, I think it's just never going to change. And it sucks because I enjoyed playing 2K with my friends. I met my closest friends on that game. I've had a friend who I've known probably since I was 19. I met on NBA 2K9. Never forget it. I used to play team up. If you know what team up is pretty much it was kind of similar to what the park is in a way, but it was regular NBA teams. You pick a position or pick a player on each team and you control that player for the entire game. And you could have obviously your four teammates and then you play a whole other team a team of five. I met my boy Super Rich Tino is his name. I love him like a brother. He's been my boy forever. And still my boy to this day, even though I haven't talked to him in a while, which I need to. But I met some like my closest, most longest friendships have come from there, and probably Destiny. Destiny's another game that I wish would get their shit together. I have no joy playing Destiny. That's another game I just wish would just get their shit right. Because I've had a lot of good memories on Destiny. I've had some weird ones, but I've had a lot of good memories on Destiny nonetheless. But 2K isn't gonna really ever change, which sucks. Madden, I think, has kind of lost its luster like it used to be. Um, but I love playing Madden. I love playing with the dudes. I was always like the only girl who played, like at least that I knew. There was a few girls sprinkled here and there, but I love making grown men cry. That used to be that's my statement. Because your girl used to have, I used to be doing my thing in Madden, man. I'll play with any team. I used to have my playbooks, make playbooks, all that stuff. I don't have the energy anymore. Sports games are so dull now, and it sucks because, like I said, it was all I played at one point. Like NBA Live was the thing, and they flopped. They haven't really put out anything decent since like what, like Live 06? Honestly, 607 maybe. Those games were fun. Old school Madden was great. Mid 90s, no, I mean, like late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. Madden and Live was it. But you also still had NFL 2K was way ahead of its time. Was it 2K, NFL 2K, I believe, 4? T.O. was on the front in his Eagles jersey. Never forget it. Probably one of the greatest sports games of all time. People will tell you that still today. NFL 2K was ahead of its time. The presentation, everything about the gameplay, it was right. People still make rosters. They update the rosters to current players and current teams. They literally make them from scratch. And people are still playing that game to this day. But EA bought the NFL license, so they're the only place that can make an NFL game with players and team likeness and player likeness and all that stuff. So you see all these other off-brand football games coming out, and they're But if you look at something like Blitz the League, Blitz the League was probably my favorite like off-brand football game ever. That game was great. It had a great story. It was over the top gory. The story was crazy. It was a good time. I would love to go back and play one of those games right now. Honestly. Like take your girl back. But man, sports games, they've just taken a tank. And it sucks being a huge sports fan like I am. I love sports. It's one of the things that kept me sane. Sports, video games, and music. Those three things, I don't know if I'd be here without those things. Music on a whole nother level has changed my life as far as the artists I listen to, the music I listen to. I'll listen to pretty much anything. Um, Music brings people together. There's things that brings people together. Sports bring people together. Brings people together. Most of my friends that I've known from like streaming and gaming, like I adore like family. And I wouldn't know them if it wasn't for gaming. These things bring people together. And those three things have been such a big part of my life that obviously I'd be a wreck if I didn't have them. But video games, sports, music, those are things that just shape me. I really, really, really hope that one day sports gaming could get back to even what it kind of was. Like, give me a remake NFL Street or NBA Street with current rosters. Give us some online. And those games didn't even have online, and they're probably some of the greatest games you'll ever play. Even FIFA Street. I'm not even a huge soccer fan. FIFA Street was lit. I enjoy sports games. Even I had some old hockey games back in the day I used to play. Baseball games. Those the games that aren't not even just sports games, but games in general aren't the greatest right now. Game is not in a good spot. It's not, unfortunately. Because I've been struggling to find things to play. That's why I've been going back through some old games. Maybe I could go play through them. Games I had never played before and play through them. So I'm probably gonna be playing Detroit Become Human soon on my Twitch. So come to my Twitch. Come follow your girl. We have fun. Uh like yeah, like we have fun on my channel. We be chilling, hanging out. I always have the tunes playing. No matter what game I'm playing, I'll be having my tunes on. It's just like a story game. Obviously, I want to kind of hit a story. Got to get immersed in the story. But yeah, man, gaming's in a weird spot. Been trying to find things to do. Shit, it was the whole reason why I started up this podcast. I finally pulled the trigger. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. Um, and I've kind of gotten bored with games to play. Overwatch isn't fun. Apex isn't fun. Fortnite isn't fun. NBA 2K and Madden, I don't even think about. Madden is kind of fun. I've been playing the career mode offline. It's been okay, but it's nothing that I'm gonna like grind. Game is in a weird spot. I am excited. One game I am excited for this year is Hellblade. Second Hellblade game is coming out at some point in this year. I will be playing it. It's gonna be on Game Pass day one. I will be playing that game. What I want, honestly, though, is another Gears of War. Another Gears of War. Gears of War 6, I'm hoping they announce that at some point this year. I'd be super excited. That's something I want. Because even like the Assassin's Creed games aren't even fun anymore. I do want to try them, the last few. I haven't played Valhalla. Mirage recently came out. So I might give those a shot as well. Um, but yeah, man, I think that's it. I've gone on a rant. This is probably my longest episode. I've ranted. I said I didn't know what to talk about, and look at me. It's been over 20 minutes. Your girl been just yapping. That's how I do. I get in these little fits, and I just be talking. But I love you guys. Thank you for all the support and all the love. Follow me on all the socials. Big Mama stuff everywhere on the Twitch, on X, on Instagram, on the Ticker Talkers. Remember, on TikTok, it's got an underscore in that name. That's me. Yeah. I dropped a couple videos about some gaming, some old gaming clips. I'm probably gonna find and put it on there. And I dropped a little highlight reel of my friend singing me happy birthday on my birthday stream. Obviously, like I told y'all last week, it was really nice. But yeah, man, that's it. That's it, man. I'll see y'all Friday. I'm gonna give y'all some preview to the divisional round. We got 4 games. It's gonna be fun. We gotta talk about something else too after that. But I love your faces. Stay beautiful. See you in the next one. Remember to drink your water, check on a homie, and remember you're loved. Peace.